All views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily reflect those of any sponsors or affiliates. Any discussion of alleged events or crimes is opinion only and not verified fact. Content is for information and entertainment purposes only. Listener and viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 21 of the BillyJoe Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joe.
And I'm Billy.
Thank you for joining us for another episode. During last week's live, we did mention that was episode 21.
We jumped the gun, eh?
Well, I didn't jump the gun, but our producer, Dan's overruled me, and he's told me, man, you can't call that one an episode. It's a live. It's a special that we do, that we're going to be doing probably once every 3 to 4 weeks. So I do apologize. Last week wasn't episode 21. This week is.
But we can't override Dan, bro. Whatever.
Dan is actually the man.
Dan's a man.
Whatever he says goes.
We love you, Dan.
Without further ado, I am going to introduce our next special guest. And this guest comes from many paths. Started off his career as a personal trainer, a solid 15 years. Then worked his way into the New South Wales Police for a year, and then moved on to the Australian Federal Police. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce Andrew Sakr.
Hello.
Andrew, welcome.
Welcome, mate.
Good to be here, boys. Good to be here.
Good to have you, brother.
It's a bit intimidating, this setup. I'm not going to lie, man.
Mate,
It's full on.
that's what, when you're dealing with the best, Andrew, you only get the best.
I know.
You're in good hands, bro.
That's it.
Um,
Usually the noises in my head are different. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
for us too, don't worry. Andrew was kind enough. He saw John Alton walk in with a drop of Glenfiddich.
Yes.
So Andrew thought he'll flip the script and walked in with a drop of ahwa.
Yes.
Nice rugby. You know what?
So
Yeah.
I'll have a sip.
This is probably the first on a podcast I think I but mate.
Listen, I'm a thinker, man.
You mate.
I think outside the square a bit,
So
Great bloody move, brother.
yeah, thanks, bro.
Andrew, bit there.
While Billy pours the coffee cups,
As I pour the drinks all the time.
yeah, hey,
Got my RSA, got this, got that.
I was introduced
Problem.
Thanks.
to Andrew through one of my very close friends, Andrew Sakr. Andrew's been a big supporter of ours, Bill,
Yeah, I know.
from day one. Andrew Sakr, and he's been a supporter of mine since I was a little kid. And as people know, I've only got one brother, James. But Andrew is easily classified as my second older brother. Absolutely blessed to have him in my life. He's always on the go, Andrew. Sending me messages, Joey, I've got this guy, I've got that guy. And like even with another guest coming up in the next few weeks, that's someone that Andrew Sakr's introduced me to. But he was awesome enough to introduce me to Andrew Sakr. And when I heard your story, bro, it was like, this has to happen. Because I believe you've got a powerful story, and it's a story that must be heard, and it's a story that's going to impact many people. And that's what we're about. And you guys have been seeing the comments that I'm posting. I'm going to continue to do that. Anytime we get a comment or a message of empowerment or support, I'm going to throw it up on our story to let everyone know it's okay to talk. It's okay to reach out, because these people are reaching out to us saying, man, you're helping me, or thank you for what you're doing.
I was just saying this to you before off camera, bro. Like, you give me a clip around the ears sometimes. Sometimes I don't realize exactly the impact we're having on people, Joey.
Absolutely. And
it blows my mind, bro. I'm not just saying it in front of the cameras, in front of you boys. It absolutely blows my mind. And yeah, it's crazy, bro.
But I love how natural it is with Bill and I. And Andrew, sometimes like we will be talking, and he's like, I go, Bill, man, this is growing. Yeah, it's there's traction here. And he's like, is it? And then I'll stop and I'm like, you fucking serious? What do you mean, is it? Can you not see what's going on? And I think the comments that I'm now throwing up, right, I think it's hitting you more than anyone.
Bro, it is. It's actually because, like I said, because obviously Joey controls the socials and he sees a lot more than I do.
Yeah, Bill's been banned. He's got no access.
And like, yeah, whenever bro, when I see it, Joey, it just. I get messages to myself or to my personal account, right, and it blows my mind. But when I see like the continuous like messages that they're sending our group page and all that,
yeah.
Bro, it just hits a spot in me, man. That I've never felt it before.
Well,
bro.
There's definitely a lot of people that are getting touched that we're reaching, and today I know we're gonna double that with you.
Well, like I said, I sent messages to WhatsApp, Viber, to my family and friends telling them to, watch out for this podcast because I was going to be on it tonight. And I was shocked that most of them were coming back to me and saying that they heard of you, that they've been listening to you. Yeah, as you know, my cousin Patrick outside.
Patrick, that's another story.
Patrick, that's a different story.
That's another story. Shout out to Patrick.
It's funny. It's funny how it worked like that naturally because you're apparently related.
Yeah.
But he loved you guys. You know what I mean? And it's funny now that you've got that connection.
Absolutely. We're talking villages, where you're from and whatnot. And then I said my village and Patrick's like, man, I'm pretty sure there's a relation there. And he said his mum's name, then he said his auntie's name. And I'm like, dude, I grew up with these people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the last time I've probably seen Patrick and his brother Charbel would have been about 10, 11 years old. Patrick would have been about 3, 4 years old.
Oh, wow.
Just it's mind blowing how the world sort of rotates and brings you back to a certain point in your life.
Full circle.
They're good guys, man. Bully's my son's godfather.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, they're good boys.
So I'm going to take it back to you, Andrew.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch too much about your personal training, right?
Come on, bro. I work hard on that stuff.
I know you did. But what I want to ask you is what did personal training do for you mentally?
Well, let me tell you something. I was a bit different to a lot of people. Fitness had a reverse effect on me. It actually spiraled me more for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. I remember I'll go play soccer or I'll go play sport, whatever it might be, because I still am now, but I was an absolute sport nut. And I'll come home and within an hour or two, I'll have like this severe, like chronic fatigue. And it'll knock me out for like 3-4 hours, fall asleep. After playing. And actually, at my absolute fittest, when I would call myself like a gym junkie, I was probably my most depressed. Yeah. Fitness and sports didn't play any part towards helping me with my mental health.
That's weird, eh?
Yeah.
Mate, that's a curveball.
Yeah,
big time, right? Big time.
Yeah, and I know you expect a different answer.
Yeah.
But for me, that never happened.
Well,
it never happened. I'll tell you why. I was so, and the boys, when you speak to the boys about me, they'll tell you this. I was so invested in my sports, right? I'll buy balls from overseas, soccer balls from overseas. If I was playing a sport, I'll go to the park by myself, I'll train myself, and I was addicted to it. I think I overstimulated myself, and I think the attention to detail that I was paying to sports was frying my brain.
Yeah.
Because I was already gone, and I didn't have any space left to give myself to the fitness, like to the sport side of things happily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I G'd myself up too much, and then I'll crash afterwards.
Were you competitive?
I'll let the boys tell you that, man. But yeah, I think so. I was pretty competitive.
Andrew, what do you mean you were already gone?
Because I already had a lot of anxiety. Mentally, I wasn't really stable. Okay. And then I'd go play a sport.
Yeah.
And I'll put it this way, I'd go play soccer just like, if I was playing, say, opens or whatever, just down with my grassroots footy, right?
Yeah.
An hour before the game, I'll be at home getting ready and I'll be cranking top 100 soccer goals so the commentary can get me psyched.
Wow.
And I'll be walking around the house and my wife just hears, Steven Gerrard goals from Liverpool and all this sort of stuff. And all it is commentary for an hour, crank full blast. And I was just doing visualizations and I was just psyching myself up ready to play. So I was so invested into all my sports, even though I was never at a professional level. I always treated my sport as if I was professional. And I think it fried me, basically.
That would have
It fried
possibly zapped every ounce of energy out of your
Yeah.
body.
My wife, the poor girl, we'll get ready for dinner, right? I'll have soccer during the day. And I played everything, Oztag, touch footy, baseball, rugby league, you name it. And I'll come home from playing sport and we might have dinner booked. And I'll remember lying on the lounge, I'll be like, it's happening. And she'll be like, no, it can't be happening. I'm like, yeah, it's happening. 5 minutes later, I'll be gone.
Like crashing.
Crash, yeah, completely crash. Yeah, for like 2-3 hours. So
Is this recent or was this we're talking back then?
no, well, recent enough that I was with my wife. I've been with her for 14 years. But on and off recently, like not so recent because I've got myself now in a good headspace and I know how to deal with everything now. But before then, when I was still figuring things out, yeah, it was definitely sport and fitness I loved it, but it wasn't necessarily a positive influence mentally to me.
Can you pinpoint a moment in your childhood that possibly could have been a trigger for, because there's obviously trauma there.
No, I get that. Look, I always tell people there was never one moment because I don't know. And I saw a psychologist recently for 3 years straight every single Monday. And even after seeing a psychologist for 3 years straight, I still couldn't get to the bottom of where. But my theory on anxiety is probably different to many other people's. So it doesn't shock me that I don't know where it's from because I don't believe that story.
So what's your theory though?
For me, very simply, and I've learned to basically, I've looked at the whole picture, and I was very lucky. When I was going through my worst anxiety and depression, I was so lucky that there was a part of me that didn't want to do anything to myself. I didn't want to harm myself. There was a part of me that was strong enough to know I didn't want that.
Thank God for that.
Thank God. I thought about it 100 times. I mean, I'll tell you a story now. It's the weird. I mean, let's get started. I'll tell you this story, right?
Yeah.
I had a massive fight at home with my missus, and I love my missus. Everyone fights.
Everyone does, but it's not healthy if you don't, bro. Straight out.
No. But credit to my missus, when I proposed to her, she knew how I was. And I said to her, look, just so you know, before we move on with this marriage, I'm a bit of a basket case, you know what I mean? Like I've got problems. And credit to my missus, she just eyeballed me and said, I don't give a shit what it is. We'll get through it. And that from that comment is where I knew, yeah, she's the one.
She's the one, yeah.
But we had a fight one day and I jumped in the car and I don't know why, but there was a switch of mindset. And I'm going to be honest, I went to kill myself in the car. I was going to go do something. And she doesn't know that. No one knows that.
How long into the marriage, sorry?
A while ago. A few years, right?
And you tell me nobody knows this until now? Oh.
It's funny because my wife half knows it.
Mm.
She doesn't know it was her. She does now. So anyway.
So you've had an argument?
We had an argument, big deal, right?
Yeah, and you've jumped in the car.
And I've jumped in the car, but my brain's straight away telling me, go do something, right? But I swear to God, and the reason why I feel really blessed and the reason why I can openly talk like this is because I really believe God is telling me, go talk. Because if you'll hear now in the next hour, I've got so many things that you can't put down to coincidence. And they're all, to me, signs from God giving me strength to get through it. And even to the point where, like I said before, I knew straight away it was wrong what was in my head. So that's what sort of saved me, you know. But the story, I jump in the car, I take off, and I'm not kidding you, I'm like a block away from home. I just left. And I've got in my head already what I'm going to do, right? I've already got it planned.
In that quick, you've planned that in that 2 seconds.
But I just went from normal viewing to
So that argument
triggered straight away.
But for any, whatever normal is, but for any normal person, it wouldn't have pushed them to think what you were thinking.
No, probably not.
So it wasn't like a massive, life-changing argument.
No.
Simple argument.
It was an argument, but my brain just something switched.
Can you tell me what was in your head when you've jumped in this car? What did you actually show? What did you want to do?
I knew straight away where I was going to go and I was going to kill myself.
Where were you going?
I don't want to say it because I don't want to give away to others
of the idea.
Of the idea.
Yeah, good. Okay,
so basically I turned the radio on. Okay. So I'm sorry, this story has a very good ending, as you can see.
Yeah, thank God.
Because I'm sitting here. But
thank God.
I jump in the car and I never listen to FM radio. Never. I waste my time with it. I would listen to SEN. You know?
Talking sports.
Yeah. All that stuff, right?
Yeah.
AM radio, listen to sport. Jumped in the car, started driving. I was like, I'm going to put FM on, bit of tunes, a few songs while I'm going. And I'm not.
Is this when you're planning to do what you're going to do?
Yeah. So I'm in the car, turn the radio on.
Oh, wow. And
straight away, the first sentence, the song's already playing. The first sentence, right after I've had a fight with my wife, is it John Bolton? Anyway, how can we be lovers if we can't be friends? How can we start over if the fighting never ends? And the biggest smile came on my face, and I was like, out of all songs, fucking that. And I swear to you, a big smile came on my face because it was like, I don't know, it was like a sign almost. I took it that way. I took it like someone was telling me something. And this is straight out of fighting with my wife, into the car, turn on the radio, that song comes on. And it just made me laugh. And instantly,
You snapped out of it.
I went to a cafe, had a coffee by myself. An hour later, I was home. I snapped out of it instantly because of that.
What do you reckon that was?
I don't know.
I can tell you what that was.
Well, I see it as a sign. I see it as God helping me.
Yeah.
Because I never listened to FM, okay? I turned it on, and out of the 50 billion songs on earth that could have been playing that day, after fighting with my wife, that song comes on, and they're the first two lines that I hear. A smile comes to my mouth, to my face, and straight away I'm like, wow, what are the chances of this song? And it made me realize, and I put my blinker, done a U-turn, went to the local cafe. I had a coffee with myself just to relax a bit and soak it all in. Hour later, I went home. It was business as usual. Me and my wife were back to normal, and like nothing ever happened. So
I want to know, with everything you've said, Andrew, yeah? We'll fast forward now to your first year of policing. What made you want to become a New South Wales police officer?
that's a good question, bro. Look, I don't know. I think, I know it's a bit cliche, but I like helping people. I'm still doing it now. I think I'm a community person. Like even recently with one of my Are You OK events, I held a whole event at Belfield shops. I've done up all the cafes, I've done up all the shops. I ran an event for all of the Belfield shopping strip. So I've always been a community person. And I think the idea of being a cop and being able to, I suppose, help people, it's not always about the bad guys out there. There's a lot of good people too that need help. And I think that was just my attraction, really. I just, from a young age, I always wanted to be one.
What made you change from PT to that? Just that.
Just being older.
PT, you're helping people to be PT.
But that's right.
Reach their goals.
Everything I've been doing has been about helping people.
Okay.
And just being older and being in a position where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do this, because it's a big commitment. You have to go to Goulburn for 5-6 months or something. They didn't pay you.
How was that? How is Goulburn anyway, bro?
It's cold, man.
Yeah, no, like just staying there.
Goulburn, it's cold.
Like, I know it's cold, bro.
But I might show you something, but
yeah,
like they don't pay you, yeah. So it's hard because I felt bad. I was one of the biggest, when I graduated, I was one of the biggest classes to graduate, and I felt bad for a lot of the guys and the women there because they wanted to be cops. But the reality of not being paid for 6 months.
I thought it was paid, bro.
No.
I thought you get something.
No, maybe now, but not at the time. And then, to be honest, it just was too overwhelming for me. The first year, I remember sitting there thinking to myself, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life? No way. And I got out straight away because I just didn't think it was for me. I went to fitness and went back into personal training and stuff like that. But then the bug bit me in again and the AFP came calling later on in my life, and I joined the AFP.
So did you go looking for the AFP, or they came and found you?
No, I went looking for them.
Yeah.
I was ready to become a cop again. I was a bit older, a bit wiser, moved on with my life with it.
What do you think it is, though? What do you think it is when you join the police force? You're obviously you're in it. You're 100% in it. You're committed. You want to do it. To leave after 1 year.
The first year, just in New South Wales.
Yeah.
AFP, I did over 10 years.
I know that. Yeah. But 1 year, like a lot of people join the New South Wales Police Force, and they're right there, have careers for what, Joey? 20?
Yeah. My cousin's been probably 15, 20 plus years. He's younger than me. He's doing a great job.
What was the moment? What was the moment though when you were there for that first year in New South Wales? Was it the money? Was it the shit you seen?
Just too overwhelming, man. It's just
what was overwhelming, bro?
Just the work, the shift work, the stuff you see. the expectations of you. And one of the hardest things I always juggled as a police officer was the expectation to not so much be a police officer, but the expectations outside of work hours of yourself. I felt like I could never really release the shackles and just be me. You know what I mean? They don't come out and directly say anything to you, but there's an expectation that even when you're at home, you're still a cop. And you just can't do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Really?
Yeah, you can't. They don't tell you to do that.
I know,
So,
but
when you're a cop and you walk down the street,
there's
it's
a
hard to
stigma.
switch off.
There's a stigma.
Yeah, it's hard to switch off.
Yeah.
I lost track how many times I'd go down the road or I'd go to the shops and I'm just looking around like I'm a cop straight off the bat looking for things. It's hard to switch off.
wow.
But I don't regret it. It was the best thing I ever did. It made me a good person. It made me a strong person. Gave me a lot of friends. Got a lot of friends out of there. And, look, policing can be dangerous, but at the same time, there's a lot of training that occurs. There's a lot of good people in there that have your back. And when you go into something that's potentially dangerous, you're well prepared. You're really well prepared. So, but, there are times where it got very difficult for sure. Like I was saying before, there were times where I'll text my wife, I love you, because I didn't think I was going home. And I just wanted her to see an I love you text as the last thing I did.
And she had no idea why you were messaging.
No, she had no idea. She just texted me back, I love you too, just thought I was being nice. But really it's because I knew there was potentially a threat that might occur. It was probably more my paranoia, I don't know. But
So is that on your way out to a call?
Yeah, on my way out to something, if I know it's high risk.
Can you
elaborate
about
just typical stuff. They might be someone with firearms and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like there's that sort of intel that's around. And I remember just like, shit, I better text her just in case. So, it's hard to take that sort of thing with you all the time.
I got a question. I've got mates that are in the force. So I never asked them this question, but I'm gonna ask you.
Let's see what happens.
It's a bit of a random one. But when can a police officer actually draw arms and use their firearm? Because I'm actually curious of that. Is there a certain point in the situation where you can use that?
I'll probably get this wrong, and if there's coppers listening, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
because it's been a while. But it's basically like an immediate threat to your life or serious injury or harm to yourself or others. You know what I mean? So, and in saying that, you're equipped with so many other things that they expect you to use almost everything else.
Before that. Okay.
I remember once being told, if you're on the M5 and someone's got a knife, well, you got to walk backwards until you get to Canberra. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just if you can get out of there, if you can disengage yourself.
It's always the last resort, eh?
It's always the last resort. It has to be the last resort. No one wants it to do that to anyone.
So I want to ask you, the Bondi Westfield stabbings. Now, this I know has got nothing to do with you. I need to make that clear to everyone out there.
It's got nothing to do with it.
I was thinking about that. I was actually thinking about that.
But yeah, just want to pick your brain, right? The police officer that shot the guy. Now, by this stage, he'd stabbed and murdered, I think 3 or 4 people by this stage. Even though he was carrying, and let me tell you, I fully support what this police officer done.
Yep.
She got hailed a hero, and I'm all for that. She was a hero. And obviously there was an internal investigation, and they've cleared her and said, you've done nothing wrong.
Yep.
But having 3, as you said, when there's like a knife involved, it's like you've got...
Well, he's already killed people by that time.
You've got tasers and whatnot. That's my point.
Yeah.
So, because there's been now 3 people dead, it's straight to the...
No, not necessarily. But you got to understand too, I think people underestimate how quick someone with a knife can be on you. And what I mean by that, by the time you identify the threat, you reach for your firearm, you draw, you point, you shoot. By the time you do all that, someone can run 20 meters with a knife at you.
Yep.
So you don't really have time to do the maths in your head to see. Sometimes if you believe, and the fact that they've killed people shows their intent. And if that woman, at that point when she drew that firearm and shot that guy, she was the bravest woman on earth at that point. She saved a lot of people. She had to hit the target under such duress, and to hit the target shows how good her training was, shows how good she is. I have nothing but praise for her, man, because no one wants to be in that situation.
Yeah.
And usually, and you know how like usually a copper unfortunately has to do something and fire a round off at someone. There's it doesn't always end pretty for that cop. Usually there's a lot of backlash. Could you have done this? Could you have done that? Could you have walked backwards 1,000 kilometers? No one said that about her because they realized the situation she was in. And they realized the job that she did.
Well,
I never heard anything negative about her.
we lost 3 lives there or more.
Well, she did a great job. And the fact that she hit the target and he went down, she did a great job.
So I wanna ask you a question now, Andrew. So I don't know if anyone knows this about me, but when I just finished high school, year 12, I applied for the New South Wales Police. I was 18 years old. I lied. The application started while I was in year 12.
Me too.
Right?
I did the same thing.
Back then they were very, how do I say this? Like, it was towards the back end. Like I was
Getting towards your
like,
psych tests.
no. Well, I went through that.
Yep.
I passed all the fitness agility tests, and I got to the stage.
Oh, you're full. Look,
No, done. Just I'm in.
I didn't even hear from him.
No, I got.
I didn't even hear from him.
I
did not hear from him, bro.
They probably checked your driving record or something.
Fuck, mate. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah,
But-
possibly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was.
My next step was going to Goulburn, and I got to the stage, and I was just about to start uni. But Goulburn was like 4 months away. It was towards the end of October.
Yeah.
But I got accepted, and it got to the point where I had to tell my parents. And my father, God rest his soul, turned on me. Yeah. Like, obviously, as like my Middle Eastern parents, that's probably one of the most dangerous jobs you can take. And in their head, they're like, I don't want my son,
No, I get you.
getting killed. So he was like, you either accept your uni offer or you leave the house. But basically kicked me out. And obviously then at the age of 18 years old, like I shit myself and said, well, fuck no.
You're going to uni.
I'm going to uni, man. I don't know how to scramble an egg. But I actually believed, and what the point I'm raising this, Andrew, is my 3 preferences was Bankstown Police Station, Burwood Police Station, and at the time there was a Lakemba Police Station.
Wallah, you're just going to dive straight in like that, huh?
I wanted to.
But it's the only way, to be honest.
I wanted to go but it's for a different reason to what you think. It wasn't to go in there because, that's where the Lebos are and that's where all the action is. It wasn't that. I wanted to make a difference. Yeah. And it's just funny. Yeah. It's funny now that I'm saying it out loud. I've had this line of work in me since I was young.
Yeah.
Wanting to make a difference, wanting to make change. I wanted to go there and I actually wanted to pull over a Lebo that would have ran a red light or didn't stop for 3 seconds at the stop sign. I wanted to pull him over and say, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah, just have a chat. You don't have to get the bloody fine book out.
No.
Just have a chat.
Just to give that faith to say,
I'm the same.
You know what? I'm one of the boys too.
Yeah.
And I believe, opposed to giving a ticket, if you give advice and you talk to him like one of the boys, surely that kid drives away thinking, what a sick cunt.
Yeah, on a mad copper. Yeah.
Look, I agree with you 100%, bro. And that's, unfortunately, doesn't always work like that because you still got a job to do, You still have to uphold the law in terms of what your role is. But I agree with you 100%. I remember once there was a little park just near a main road and there was a big sign saying no ball sports because the main road was there. And I remember these kids were playing league against each other. It was like 3-on-3. And my partner at the time walked past and just grabbed the ball off them. And it was like, read the sign, you can't play. And I was like, that's wrong. So I took the ball off him and I went and played with them. And I had my full kit on. I'm playing like 3-on-4 against these kids.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I said, where's your parents? And they were playing in the park because their parents had owned a shop across the road. And they said, they're in that shop, they own the shop. I said, okay, let's go. I took them into the shop. I said, look, I apologize. They're not in trouble, but it's dangerous for them to be playing ball sports. Something might happen to them. The ball goes on the road. Something happens to a car. It could cause an accident. I said, so just for their safety, please just like keep them inside with you or whatever. Just they can go play in the park, but just take the ball off them.
Yeah.
And they loved me for it. They loved me because I had the kids' interest at heart. They saw me, even though I was in uniform, they saw me as a normal person. And, you know, it's those sort of engagements that I really enjoyed. Those sort of engagements.
So my question to you is, how can New South Wales Police better their relationship? And again, I'm not putting this on New South Wales Police,
I get it.
right?
Yeah.
Because they aren't liked in the area. Marylands, Greystanes, Guildford, Para, Bankstown, Punchbowl.
Oh, I love my coppers.
Right.
I love the coppers.
I love my
I
coppers.
swear to God.
Because let's be real, Andrew, right?
Some don't.
When there is a problem, who are you calling?
Yeah.
You're straight to 000,
Yeah.
right? Well, you can be the biggest gangster. If you're in an accident, you as a gangster, your family need to know those coppers aren't prejudiced. Those ambulance officers aren't prejudiced. They don't look at you and see a gangster tatted up and think, oh, you know what? No, he's one of the bad guys. Let's let him bleed out.
No,
They're there to help.
No, I've never noticed anything like that. I can say.
No, 100%. But how can we better the relationship? How can we make things better in the area?
Oh, look, I think there's a few things that come into play with this. Firstly, there are community liaison officers, and there are specific parts of the police force that they target non-English speaking backgrounds and other people in the community. That's their job, full time job. So they are putting effort into that.
But how? I've never seen.
Schools get the kids, you know, when they're young, talking to them. You know, going around. I know for a fact because I did it. Going just knocking on all the shop doors, all the shop fronts. Introduce yourself, say hello. How's it going? Everything good? Yep. That sort of engagement. But also, I think there's a very thing that everyone needs to remember. We have a big multicultural community, obviously, and sometimes people's what's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes people's association with police is not good, and it's not always through their own faults. I'm talking about overseas. I'm talking about police overseas in some countries, and I'm not well traveled, okay? So I'm not trying to become an expert in this. But police at your front door means bad news, right? For some people.
Just go to Bali, cuz you'll see.
Well, I'm just trying to say,
You're right. You're not wrong.
For some people, it's hard to, or they haven't had the ability or chance yet to associate police with good things because all their experience has been negative.
Yeah.
So it's hard, you know. So you're already starting sort of on the
back foot.
On the back foot.
But let's make it clear: there's a couple of officers that do have the badge that shouldn't be wearing the badge.
Oh, look, probably. I'm not going to say no.
No, I'm not asking.
I'm not going to say no.
I'm not going to ask you for your opinion as an ex-AFP, but I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
I've seen interactions as a third person. I've been involved in one where I got arrested at the SCG at a cricket game in front of my wife. Yeah,
You got arrested at the SCG?
No,
Streaking?
no,
You got arrested at the SCG
for the SCG. Yeah.
How long was the beer snake?
No, not drinking.
Nah.
I was actually wearing a Jesus costume.
Ah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long story. Because this is anyway. I was holding
I need to know the facts of the story before I can make comment on
You
this.
can't just say you're dressed as Jesus at SCG and like get arrested. Like, come on, bro. Let's hang it.
So they had a competition, right? Best dressed SCG. It was a one day Australia versus
So you had a cricket game?
yeah,
Okay.
Australia versus England. And at the time, I was working for a recruitment company. So we went in the office. There was about 5 of us with our partners. 2012. There was a competition, you know, dress up and, you know, there's a chance to win $1,000. So I went, I had a Jesus costume. I don't know why I had one.
I just had one in the boot just for fun.
So it was just a white robe, the red sash, a beard, the long hair, whatever. So I'd do a poster. So it was when Julia Gillard was Prime Minister. So the poster read, "Not even I can save you." And I think I had Julia on the bottom. So I'm walking in. So I was like a mad celebrity pre-game.
Yeah.
So we went for drinks, whatever. Everyone's coming up, taking photos. I get into the ground with this sign, right? Still not pulled up. Walking through, getting stopped, taking photos, get to my seat, holding the sign up. Everyone's having a laugh. We're having a good time.
Were you in the members?
No, but in the general grandstand. I go to my wife, right? It was, all right, over 15, over 20 overs in. We get, I go, babe, I'm going to go get some food, whatever. Anyway, as I'm walking, I'm holding the sign. I'm not even holding it up. I'm just holding the sign. I don't even know why I took it with me. And then I get this, just a secchi. Just comes and he just snatches it. I go, bro, what are you doing? Like, that's my property. He goes, no political signs, in the grounds. I've gone, dude, okay. I've been walking around this now for about an hour and a half. No one said anything. You don't just snatch it off me. That's my property. Give it back. Back and forth, right? In hindsight, I should have just let the sign go, right? Not abusive, not threatening, not nothing. Copper comes down. He goes, mate, come down with me. I go, okay. So I'm going for a walk thinking they're taking me to get my sign back. Go down the stairs and they take me down into this basement underneath the SCG. It's a holding cell.
Oh, in there.
So as I get down, right, stand behind, they hands behind my back, arresting me for what? Yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
They put me in a holding cell. I don't have my phone. My wife's got my phone because obviously in this dress, there was no pockets.
Oh.
I was down there for 2.5 hours, right?
Mm.
They write me up. They book me. They exit me out of the stadium. I'm standing outside the stadium saying, mate, can you get my wife? I don't know where I had this stubby. I had my ticket. I go, get my wife. He goes, mate, go home. I go, mate, I've got no phone and no money. Can you get and this is a police officer.
Oh, well.
And this police officer, what are you meant to do? Protect and serve?
No, I get it, bro.
Right?
I get it.
They've now thrown me out of a stadium. No phone, no money.
They gave you a move along.
I move along.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there going, are you fucking kidding? Get my wife. He goes, mate, she's a big girl. She can enjoy the day out on her own.
Oh, bro.
So now he's trying to get me.
Niggling.
I get you.
Yeah, and then I've turned on him and it got ugly, bro. But his partner was one of you, right? And he knew it was unfair. He goes, mate, give me the stub, whatever. They go get my wife. My wife, bro, I took it to court, yeah? I paid $4,000 to fight a $250 ticket.
Oh, wow.
But it wasn't about getting off the fine, yeah?
No, I get it.
I wanted that copper, right? And there was another female copper there that she was a dog too, right? I wanted them. I wanted to face them.
Yeah.
I wanted them to be embarrassed. I wanted them to be put up on the stand, which they were, and my solicitor cross-examined them and hammered them. I could have, like, sued for, for some sort of amount. That was never my intention. It was they abused their power.
Yeah.
So that it's definitely there, Andrew.
No, I don't deny that. Look, I think you'd be naive to think that every single cop on earth was a proper citizen, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Every industry has them, you know. I remember when I was working in construction, some bloke put a padlock on a bloody door and locked me in a room like a dog. That's in the construction industry. You know, so every industry's got them, and I'm not making excuses for them. They're in the police too, for sure. You know, and it's unfortunate that you have these experiences because now someone like you, like I was mentioning earlier, develops that relationship with the police, and it's not a good one.
But let me stop.
It's hard to win that back.
It's one back because I'm open-minded enough. So I'll tell you a quick one. I'm 19 years old. My birthday is the 19th of November. So on the 19th of November, I was working for my brother at the time because I was at uni. 19 years old. My brother goes at 12 o'clock, rings me up. He goes, go home. It's your birthday, half day for you. So I'm gunning at home, want to shave, want to go get a haircut, get showered. Like it's a Friday arvo.
Go to Roxy.
You know what I mean?
Roxy.
I'm gunning it, right? But that's what it was, bro. It was either going to be Roxy or Sapphire.
Sapphire.
One of the
That's
two.
the best.
With Chris.
days, bro. Good old days.
So I'm gunning it. So I'm now doing 80 in a 60 zone and no P plates.
Oh.
Get pulled over.
Silly boy.
Copper comes to my window, goes, mate, why are you speeding? I go, can I be honest with you? It's my birthday. I'm excited. No, sorry. He goes, why are you speeding? I go, officer, sorry. I'm speeding. I played the whole, you got to do your job. You know, I was in the wrong. Whatever you hit me with, it's all good.
Yeah.
Goes to his car. He comes back. He goes, mate, it's your birthday today.
Oh.
I go, yeah, officer, sorry. That's why I was speeding. I was excited. You know, I just want to get home. I'm going out, blah, blah, blah. He goes, listen, man, I'll be pretty shit of me to fine you on your birthday. He goes, look, I'm not going to fine you for the speeding, but I'll pin you for the no P plates.
That's easy. That's an easy one back then.
Back then, no P plates was only a fine. It wasn't points.
So that's points, yeah.
So he stung me for that. That experience, you drive away from that thinking,
Yeah, I get you.
what a sick cunt.
I got a story for you boys.
Does that involve wearing a dress?
No. So I'm driving. I'm in the area, right? I'm driving Marylands. This is where I sort of thought, fuck, bro, it really is a job, no matter who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
And some are fair, some aren't. But mine was a bit of a span. There was a bit of a spanner in the works. So I'm driving in the area. I'm driving in Marylands. I don't know where I was going. Well, young. I was on my P's. I was about 18 years old, 19 years old. Driving, all I hear is behind me. I had a RX wagon Subaru, but it looked like a WRX, right? So on P plates back then, they just brought in the law where you can't drive any turbos and all that sort of stuff. So they were red hot on it, right?
Yeah.
My car looked beefed off its head.
I've done nothing.
Oh, bro, what's it? What is it? All bark no bite? Yeah, it was all that, bro. Anyways, got pulled over. Highway patrol. In a local street, bro, in Maryland. You know, who gets out of the car? I'm looking on my side mirror. I pulled over. There's an officer walking down, and I'm looking at. I'm not going to say who it is, but I look and I go, I know this person. I know this copper.
Lebo,
fresh on the scene.
from the area.
I hang out with this person.
Yeah.
I hang out with this person. I'm friends with this person. Not like I know this person. I got their number. We're hanging out on the weekend.
Yeah.
They rock up to my window. I look at it. I'm not going to say male or female. I look. I go, you're fucking kidding me, bro. You're absolutely and this officer was like, fuck, I can't fucking do nothing. I can't help you. This and that. Then I thought I'd put him to the test. Moral of the story is, I ended up getting ass raped by my friend.
Yeah,
because the one dude they were training with the senior sergeant
Had nothing to do with him and everything to do with the person sitting in the car behind you. I guarantee you.
That's what it was. And so when I'm looking at this person, I'm like, come on, man, are you fucking serious? And from that moment, my perception of where I'm trying to get at with the story, it was like, bro, it doesn't matter who the fuck you are, bro. These guys are fucking, they'll fucking turn on you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And from that, like, I didn't really hate them, but I'm like, that's when I just knew where, like, you just got to.
To be fair,
there's no leniency, bro, no matter what you do, man.
look, to be fair, like I said, if this guy, you said he's new,
Yeah.
had nothing to do with him, bro.
It was new. I'm not going to say he or she.
He, she, sorry. Whatever it is these days. He, she.
And if it's
Has nothing to do with him, I guarantee you.
and if it's listening to this podcast, I'm sure exactly.
I'm sure there was a senior officer in the car saying, "Go get that guy."
Exactly right. There was.
Yeah, so that's what happened.
And that's what happened. That's the look it gave me. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't do nothing.
So you need to ring Hishim and apologize. Andrew,
Yes, sir.
let's fast forward to the AFP.
I thought we just did the AFP.
No, your time in the AFP.
Okay, yeah, well, let's fast forward.
Give me a couple of minutes of this.
Okay.
What was the worst thing that you saw
In the AFP?
during the AFP?
In the AFP. I want to say the worst thing I saw was in the New South Wales police. Not the AFP.
Let's go.
Go, tell us.
Yeah.
And I've got to be careful because I don't want to say too much. And at the same time, I don't want to trigger people. But, I saw a 6-month-old dead baby killed by her mum. I saw a guy.
Can I stop you there?
Fuck
Yeah.
me.
As a police officer
Mm.
that needs to uphold the law, when you find this out and you see a 6-month-old lifeless and you know it's the mother, how do you separate upholding the law and not wanting to do something to this animal?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I never saw the mum at all throughout the whole process because that job doesn't go to me. I was new in the police and that particular job is way above my pay grade and it goes to someone else. My role at the time was to obviously secure the area. The mum wasn't a suspect at the time. And it wasn't until they went back to the house that she became a suspect. And my role was just to secure the area, get the baby, give it to the ambulance, let the ambulance assess the baby, who had already been who was deceased at the time. And then basically after that, go back to the police station and just start writing.
Andrew, I want to ask you, bro.
That was my job.
I got to ask you this. So you're telling me you rocked up to this house?
It wasn't outside. It wasn't a house.
A house, unit, whatever it was. What was it?
What was it?
A rubbish bin.
Oh, fuck. So you rocked up to this rubbish bin.
Yep.
And you've seen what you've seen.
Yep.
I don't know if you were a father at the time. You probably weren't.
No, I wasn't.
Doesn't matter. You don't need to be. You don't need
to be a father to know how fucking.
Bro, let me tell you something, right, bro? Like, if I've been in situations in my life, especially at work, when I've been at a gym doing with the office. You know, the office will take you out. We'll go do a gym workout together, and we'll come home. I've seen someone have a heart attack in front of me, and I was like literally traumatized. I probably couldn't go to work for the next 2 days. How does a police officer or someone like yourself, when you see something so barbaric, something so ruthless like that, bro, when you see a 6-month-old lifeless body, bro, I'm getting checked up here, bro, in a fucking bin, bro, just like that, bro. And how the fuck do you even have the how do you have the brain capacity to even go back to the office, bro, and write a report, bro?
I couldn't.
How are you so thick-skinned? How do you develop that thick skin, bro?
You don't. I wasn't. I'm human, and it affected me a lot. But I remember they had a psychologist, or they had like a counselor waiting for us. And by this time I'd done like 17 hours, right? And because it was actually like the last thing I did before my shift was due to finish. And because of it, it ended up like a 17-hour shift. And I remember she was talking to me and I just said, look, I don't mean no disrespect, but I don't even fucking know my own name at the moment. I just need to go home. And she just goes, well, you got my number. When you're ready, call me. Someone.
Bro, so I love how you say, like, finding a baby in a bin, is your pay grade, but then talking to the mothers beyond your pay grade. That doesn't that doesn't make sense to me.
I'm going to be honest. When you're a police officer, you don't think stuff like that. What I mean by that is you just do, right?
Yeah.
You just do because that's your job.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was called out to that, and I didn't know that's what it was. The job originally was just, hey, there's a lady walking around, go check her out. People were calling in about this chick walking around.
Well, walk around the bin, you mean? Like walk around the streets?
Just walking in and out.
Looks sus.
Yeah, it's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Fuck, bro. And that's all the job was. Anyway, long story short, it ended up more than just that. And I mean, to be honest, the police do have good things in place, but as a human, it's hard to get that stuff out of your head sometimes, for sure. I couldn't, like, for a while, I couldn't even look at I couldn't even look at kids in a pram.
Yeah, bro.
I'll see a pram and I just think about it. But now I'm good. Now, thank God, I got some help, and other than speaking about it now, I probably haven't mentioned it in years.
Yeah, well.
Is it common?
What?
PTSD. How common is it though? Is it taboo to speak about? Is it like, do people speak about it in the force?
I just think it gets bundled with depression and anxiety now. You know what I mean?
Under that banner.
It gets bundled under that banner. And like you said to me before, what triggered it? That PTSD becomes the trigger, whatever it is. You know what I mean? And it gets all bundled under the one umbrella. I wouldn't know about PTSD too much. I'm not an expert in that field. I know there's a lot of people that probably have it, especially in the military and stuff like that. But myself personally, I never really saw myself I mean, yeah, I probably did have it by the technical term, but then I got myself help and I got out of that and moved on with my life and left the police and went back to fitness. But and I joined the AFP because I was ready. Like I didn't have any qualms. Just wanted to go back and be a cop and do my job again. And I didn't leave New South Wales because of that. I just left because after that, and then you sort of just start to weigh it all up and just go, oh,
Is it worth it?
probably not for me.
Yeah.
But a few years later, I realized, yeah, it is for me, and I went back and I did over 10 years. So,
So you leave the AFP, and we had a moment on the phone
yes,
when I first met you.
we've had many moments just recently. I've only just met you, man, but
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's because of Patrick sitting out there that we've got this button now. But
That's one.
yeah,
That's one thing.
Wait, Patrick.
But you mentioned the time when you were done,
yeah.
and it's not the time when you had that argument with your wife and jumped in the car,
no,
right?
No, that was after the fact.
Yeah. Can you talk about that time when you had that heaviness on your chest, that anxiety? You were in a dark place.
Mate.
You even mentioned to me, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you couldn't go to sleep unless your mum was sleeping on the end of the bed.
100%. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Look, at my worst, that's 100% right. I had look, if there's one thing that I need to sort of say first before this wraps up, because I'm sure it's going really quick. My story is about, I went to hell and back and I got through it. And I use myself as an example to people that there is light at the end of the tunnel. That's how I see, that's where I position myself in life, because it's important. We got to understand that, do I still have anxiety and a bit of depression here and there? Yeah, I do. But when we talk about cure, right? When we talk about being cured from anxiety and depression, we're not talking about not having it anymore. That's not cured, because it's not realistic, because as humans, we naturally have it, right? What we're talking about is bringing your level of anxiousness from an unreasonable state where you I suppose
Can't function.
can't function,
Fight or flight. Yep.
to a level that is reasonable for the situation that you're facing.
How do you do that?
Where you do the test. Well, it's just a normal test of what would a normal person do in this situation. We get caught up too much in the fact that there's no cure. I hate it when people say there's no cure, right? It kills my life, because you got to understand, I believe I'm cured, okay? Because my level of anxiety and depression now is what I believe a normal level, where, if I'm stressed at work, I have a bit of anxiety, that's a normal reaction. You know what I mean? If I'm going to do bungee jumping and I'm freaking out, that's a normal reaction. We're not looking for cure equals no more anxiety and depression, because as human beings, it's within us to have a certain level. What we're talking about is, how do we bring that excessiveness down to a level that's reasonable and expected? You know what I mean? So for me, I consider myself cured, because I believe I've reached that stage. I've given myself the tools to get to a level now where if I do feel a bit of anxiousness coming on, I just switch it off like that, because I know, firstly, one, what it is. And just on that, I wish I knew what it was when I first had a rule, like all my attacks, because I probably would have nipped it in the bud straight away, knowing what I know now. But because I didn't know, it spiraled.
Can I ask something, Andrew? Joey said something about you couldn't go to sleep with your mum. You had your mum sitting at the end of the bed. What was that reason? If you don't have to answer it, but what was going? Why did you need your mum there?
Because my brain was so wired, I couldn't relax. And when my mum was sitting on the end of my bed, I felt peace and comfort.
Okay.
And she allowed me to go to sleep. And that's what happened. So I would call her and I'd say, please, sit here. And she understood, and she would sit there. And, she helped me through a lot. And look, like all Lebo parents, they don't understand fully straight away, right?
Yeah, no.
They don't get it. They blame themselves. They blame everything else. They say, the typical, you've got a job, you've got this, you're married, what's wrong with you? All that typical stuff. But now my mum gets it. My dad, he passed away a couple of years ago.
God bless his soul.
Thank you. And you know, he went through a few things himself. You know, he had multiple heart attacks. He lost half his foot because of diabetes, and he went to a dark place too. And I think I had an uncle who went to a bit of a dark place as well. And I think my family started to understand and get it. And it helped me a lot because I no longer had to live this double life. I could openly talk about it.
So does mental health run in your family?
I don't know if it runs into my family. It's hard because, you know, no one talks about it much.
I think it does in mine. But the oldies don't talk about it, John.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't. Like, I could...
Can I just say something?
Yeah, of course you can. Here, go.
And I really want to say this because I heard you talking outside about speaking to your dad. And this might be a bit off topic, but
No, bro.
I feel like I want to get this off my chest.
Yeah. All good.
So, anyone, where's the camera?
Your camera's there.
You got about 20 here, cuz. Pick one.
Hey, I'll take this one here. It doesn't give the side view. Okay, so when you hear about tall people, you love them, just fucking do it, okay? Do it. Because let me tell you something that I'm living with at the moment that kills me almost every day. My dad passed away 2 years ago, all right? My brother-in-law, God love him, we were having a conversation one day. And my brother-in-law told me how he said, I love you to his dad. And that changed his relationship with his dad big time. It improved the relationship. And it was big of my brother-in-law to do that because, you know, like us all the Lebo guys, you know, it's not that easy. And he said that. And he said to me, do yourself a favor, go tell your dad you love him. And even though me and my dad had a good relationship, I never said it to him, right? And right or wrong, it just never eventuated. And for 2 months, I would sit next to him in the lounge room. I'll sit next to him in the backyard. We would have coffee, whatever. And my brain will be saying, say it, say it, say it now, say it now. And it never fucking came out of my mouth for whatever reason. I don't know why. And it kills me till today because 2 months later, I get a phone call from my mum saying, come home, your dad's dead, passed away. And I was in the kitchen while they were doing CPR on my dad. And there was 4 police officers. He was lying in the kitchen of my house, blood coming out of his mouth, and they were trying to resuscitate him. And all I can think to myself was, I never fucking said it. I never fucking said it. And till today, 2 years later, I live with that every day that I never said it to him. And the opportunity is gone now. I'll never have that chance. And yes, I get it. He knows probably that I love him and he loves me. I get all that. But what pissed me off so much is I go and I do all these talks and I do all these, podcasts and I do Are You Okay stuff. And I thought I was above it. And I couldn't even fucking say it myself. And I really kicked myself really bad. And I still do today at certain times kick myself for not saying it because I thought I was better than that and I wasn't. And I'm just telling you now, if there's anyone that you love, if there's anyone that's going through a tough time and, you know, if there's anyone that's maybe, I don't want to say it, but, you know, on the way out and maybe he's not going to be around much longer, if you haven't said it, just go say it. Just go say it because fuck, I didn't say it, and I swear to God, I regret it every day. All I remember is him lying on the kitchen floor with me standing over him. And I remember looking at him, and even then I wanted to yell it out. I wanted to just grab him and yell it, and I fucking never did. And then before you know it, 2 strangers are driving a van with your dad in the back of it, driving down the street, taking him away. And, you know, so I just brought that up because I need people to hear that because I heard you mentioning outside about speak to your dad, and it prompted me to say something. And just, you know, your dad, your mum, I don't care who it is. If you're in a position to say it, just fucking say it, man, because life's short and you're going to regret it like me.
100%. Bro, I feel it's a thing. Well, that's thanks for sharing that. It was beautiful. I think what it is with us, cuz, not just you. You're not alone in this year. You're not the first, you're not the last to ever do that. But I think, Joey, you probably agree with me too, bro. As Levos, as the boys, ethnic boys from Lebanese backgrounds, me growing up with my siblings and my parents, I think saying the word I love you or showing any type of emotion to your siblings in like, it's hard to do. Or for me anyway, like for me and my brother, and like for instance, like me and my sister, when we see each other, we don't kiss each other, hi, how are you? We don't hug, we find it very hard showing emotion. Even to my parents, especially our culture, bro. We're just it's it's either you're like emotions flowing through the house, everyone's saying I love you, everyone's happy chappy, or you're on the other end of the spectrum, bro. And I think a lot of like I'm on that side. I found it hard saying I love you. I find it.
I say it to my son every 5 minutes.
I say it to my son every 3 seconds.
Yeah,
But like
every 5 minutes.
it's just
he tells me stop saying it.
the point I'm trying to make, guys, it's literally just if it makes you just feel uncomfortable, just bite the bullet and do it.
Yeah,
Because like Andrew said here, man, I've been in that boat. He's been in that boat. We all could have said I love you a bit more, right?
Yeah.
Just bite the bullet and do it, man.
you know, especially your parents.
100%, bro.
I said your parents do so much for you, man. I think we forget. We forget the age that they were brought up in and how they had so little and the stuff that they did. And it's easy for us now just to be people who are like, you know, I suppose selfish and just think of ourselves, and we forget what our parents did for us, man.
Like with me, because my mum raised me on tough love.
Yeah.
My mum raised me on tough love. I'll say for what it is, bro. Me and my mum have. I know she loves me. I love her.
Yeah.
But we're raised on tough love. My mum's not the type to say Habib Albi, Ganijmi, and this and that. And sometimes, bro, to be honest, bro, I used to get fucking cut. Like I said, the way she's with my kids, and I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck? Why aren't you like that with me? Then I'll stop. I'll pull the handbrake up a bit. I'm like, bro, there was one stage I wasn't 35 years old. There's one stage I wasn't 25 years old. There's one stage I was a fucking baby. I needed that love. I'm sure the love was there.
Yeah.
I'm sure she wasn't that ruthless. I've gotten this far today. And like I said to you before, in regards to mental health runs in my family. I want to get a bit open here. My grandfather, which is her dad, actually suffered it as well. And I found that out later on in life. And I could sort of see from the tough love came from her parents.
Yeah.
Just their traumas got passed down to my mum. And obviously her traumas got passed on to me sometimes in regards to the emotion stage, like showing emotion. And like I said, bro, like I've broken that stigma with my kids. And just to anyone else out there, man, just fucking just say it. If you're struggling to say it, I'll say it to if you're struggling to say it, just say it, man.
I'll tell you where
you don't want to regret it. You don't want to regret it, bro.
if you want to see me saying it, go to Buddy Rookwood Cemetery, see me sitting down next to his grave. Say it every 5 seconds.
I'll second that too, brother.
You know what I mean? It's way too late, but what saves me is knowing my dad is not the body that's at Rookwood. My dad is the spirit up in heaven, and I can talk to him at any time. And that's what saves me, because knowing I can look. Gotta be honest, I have a lot of dreams about my dad.
Yeah,
good ones. It's like he's listening to
Have
me.
you dreamt of your dad, Joey?
No.
Me too.
Can I tell you a story about my dad?
Of course, yeah.
In a dream, real quick.
Yeah, please tell us everything.
I dream about him a lot, and I thank God. And I think still, like in the afterlife, I think he's still definitely looking over me, and I think he feels my pain. I feel like he does. And I remember once I was pacing up and down the house, and I wasn't feeling right, and it was about probably 2 a.m. in the morning. My wife was up with me. I had severe nausea. And I'm just spent 2 hours walking up and down the house like this with my shirt pulled down to try and be able to breathe properly. And eventually my wife went to bed. And I got, after a few hours of cutting laps, I got really dizzy and faint, and I felt like I was going to collapse on the ground. So I said to myself, go into the bedroom and collapse on the bed, because at least your wife will wake up to you and she'll know that you've collapsed, right? Rather than just collapsing in the middle of the kitchen and no one sees you.
Yeah.
So I went up to the bed and I collapsed on the bed. And my wife gets up straight away, and I'm sort of semi-conscious, you know. I'm not unconscious, but I'm sort of not all there. And she goes, are you okay? And I said, call the ambulance. And she goes, shit. So she gets on, and I'm sweating by this time. I'm sweating bullets, right? I'm wet completely. I don't know what happened to me.
Cold sweats, nausea.
Crazy.
That's hard function.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and my dad passed of a heart attack too, you know. And so she's on the phone with the ambulance, and I can hear her just vaguely talking on the ambulance. And yes, he's conscious, and she's saying all this stuff. And then I just pass out, and I have a vision of the back of my head, and it's all black, like the back of my head, and there's a white cloud. And my dad comes walking out of this white cloud, comes walking towards me, and I said to him, can I go up there? He goes, no, go back. He turns around and he walks back. I snapped out of it. I looked at my wife and I said, hang up the phone. He goes, what? I said, I'm better. He goes, what do you mean you're better? I said, I'm good. And she's talking to the lady on the phone, and she's like, are you sure, love? And I'm like, she's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, Diane, I'm good. She goes, what happened? I said, don't worry, I'll tell you later, I'm good. I got up, I went and slept for like a couple of hours in my bed, got up, and I was perfect. Instantly, it just fucking went. Honestly, my eyes opened wide up, and I looked at her, and I remember, and I just said, hang up the phone, I'm good. What? But yeah. And, you know, and I have a lot of these experiences. I can tell you other stories like that, man. It's crazy.
There was one
Ugh.
moment you mentioned outside.
At Canberra, at the AFP?
Yeah. You had a moment there that you said, bro, wait till you hear this, and we stopped you.
Yeah, well, let me tell you this. So, that's right.
Good memory, Joseph.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. And I get a lot of this, right? I get a lot of this sort of spiritual / you know, like...
Paranormal?
Yeah. I feel connected to it, bro.
Yeah.
I really do feel a connection with them. It doesn't scare me. I feel connected. And I can tell you 1,000 examples of when I've had these connections, you know. But what happened was, I'm going to make it quick because it's a bit of a story.
No, it's all right.
When I went to Canberra, I was working in the AFP, and the deal was, you go to Canberra, you work there for 5, 6, 7 years. That was the deal. That's what you were signing up for. And I went. I was single at the time. I didn't care. But I started to suffer a lot of anxiety and depression while I was down there. It hit me really hard. And I remember lying in bed sometimes sort of saying to myself, fuck, I'm just going to die here. No one will even know. My family's 3 hours away. I was like, my heart pumping through my chest, my heart rate 200 beats, all these sort of symptoms.
So full anxiety attack by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, fuck, how can I get out of here? Because I'm going to, you know. So in my head, I thought to myself, if I equip myself with useful tools that the AFP can use, I might be able to get out and go back to Sydney. And what I mean by that is, I'm Lebanese, but my Arabic is shit. So I thought to myself, go upskill myself, do a Arabic course, right? That's what I said. And I remember talking to one of my mates, and I said to him, listen, man, will work pay for an Arabic course for me? And he goes, oh, go speak to the boss and see, maybe. Because I thought if I become good, I can become like an interpreter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and I've only been there for a short time. And like I said, they were talking 5, 6, 7 years being there. At the time, a new boss had come in, a lady. I won't say names. She came in, and I'm talking like 1 week max. So new that she hadn't even introduced herself to anyone yet.
She joined the force, or
one of the bosses came down from Queensland.
Okay,
she came down from Queensland, and I was in Canberra at the time. So I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go talk to her." I got the courage. I went in. And I said, can I have a chat? And she goes, yeah, sorry. She goes, look, I haven't had time to introduce myself. I'm sorry, but take a seat. I said, no, all good. And she goes, what's up? And I said to her, I'm just want to inquire about doing an Arabic learning course. I want to do some study, upskill myself a bit. And I'm not shitting you. She looked at me straight in the eyes and she said, what are you really here for? And I had a panic attack. I thought I was in trouble. I was like, what the fuck? What did I do?
Yeah.
And she goes, how's your health? And I swear to God, it broke me straight away. I'm like, I'm good. She goes, don't bullshit me. How's your health? I said, you know, could be better. Everyone's got problems, you know, but I just want to do a course. She goes, no, the last thing you need to do is study. You got to go back home. Straight off the bat, I never met this woman in my life.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And so anyway, she started talking to me, and she started talking to me about her personal issues too that she had with family. And I'm a mess, bro. I broke down. I'm not going to lie, right? And because she read me like a book. So anyway, and still today, I don't know how. But what happened was, and this what makes it even more freakier, I remember I ring my missus and that, I'm like, I'm coming home. Because I used to come home on the weekends and stuff like that. She'd be like, oh, that's good. How long? I'm like, no, I'm fucking coming home. She goes, what? I said, yeah. Because I remember saying to her, I said, I don't want to come home. I don't want to go. I said, there's a lot of people here that want to leave who were here before me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose friends over this.
Yep.
So I just want to do this course. And she said to me, they will jump over the fucking queue to get in front of you. Don't you worry about that. So when the opportunity comes like this, take it.
Wow.
And I said, okay. So she went and she did everything. Emailing me, CCing me in all these emails. I had to go do some tests. I had to go do some stuff. And I got out. And she goes, wherever they put you in Sydney, just fucking take it. Don't even argue. I said, okay. And I went. And I went back to Sydney. About 2 weeks, probably 1 or 2 weeks later, I get to where I am, I email her. And I said, hey, thanks again so much. Just letting you know, this is where they've put me. Everything's good, you know, and blah, blah, blah. Right? and I hit send. Later that day, I get an email back from her. Great to hear, Andre. I'm glad everything is going good. Just so you know, I'm back in Queensland. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, to me, it was like she flew in, she was on a reconnaissance, like some sort of mission, and she fucking flew out, you know? And she read me like a book and she knew everything.
And you didn't know this lady at all?
I'd never met her in my fucking life. And I still to today, I don't know how she knew or what.
No records. There's no records in the emergency records, medical records that
nothing.
that the force had on you or nothing.
Wow.
And then I email her. She emails me back saying I'm back in Queensland.
What do you reckon that is, Joey? What do you reckon?
Well,
You told me.
I don't think there's an explanation for that. It could be a massive coincidence, which I don't believe it is.
No way.
She was your angel,
That's all I think.
and she took on this role for 2 weeks.
Yep.
She looked after you because her
Yep.
job as your angel was to look after you.
Yep.
And she went back home.
I don't see it as any other way, man.
It's crazy, bro.
I swear to God. And that's only one story. I'll tell you other stories, man. You fucking freak out.
Let's save that because
Hey, I'm aiming for a part 2. Don't think I didn't hear nothing about no part 2 last time.
You don't got to stop. We've got off of those part 2s, cuz.
we've got
for part 3, man. I don't do things like that.
we've got about 3 part 2s already.
I swear, bro.
But you know what, Andrew, nothing stops. Who's anyone to tell me we can't do a part 2?
We're going to do whatever the fuck we want.
Hey, this is our show.
Yeah, bro.
Second of all,
Yeah.
if we see value, if we see that, sorry, man, this story's not done. Fuck it, if there's going to be a part 2.
This story's not done, bro.
Yeah.
I'll tell you because there's so much that I came ready to talk about.
And
That would
you see how quick, like we're at an hour and 12 minutes already.
Yeah, I know. Can I tell you one last story?
Tell us whatever you want, brother.
I'm going to tell you one more story because this might get me part 2.
Go.
All right. And mind you, keep in mind, we haven't even spoken about anxiety, depression, right?
Yeah, I know.
I haven't even said nothing about it.
Yeah.
Because I've got fucking.
We'll talk about it. We'll still get time.
So let me tell you this other story. And comes to this spiritual stuff, right? I had this thing with my dad. I had this thing with this lady. I was unemployed, right? And I was struggling. I was really struggling mentally. It killed me. This is after the police. I was struggling big time. And I'll tell you 2 stories really, really quick. And I remember I was doing some courier work at the time, just trying to make cash, you know. And I was driving from, I think it was Alexandria, and I had to do my last drop. They rang me at like 4 p.m. and said, you got to do a drop in Cabramatta. I had to go from Alexandria to Cabramatta. And the car and Google Maps took me on the M4, I think.
I know who you're working for based on those locations. Anyway, I'm not going to say it.
Courier.
No.
Okay, good. No, but seriously. And I remember getting on the M4 and I was doing courier work. I wasn't technically unemployed, but I was fucking hating it. And I'm like, look at me, man. I'm in my 40s. Look what I'm doing. What the hell is it? You know, how did I get to this? And no disrespect to courier drivers, man, but it's just not the choice.
I'm a truckie, bro.
It was not the choice and job for me, you know, considering where I had been before.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, and I remember getting on the M4 and I looked at the time and it said 40 minutes or something like, I don't know, to get there. And I said, I'm going to do the rosary. And I was sort of ahhing about it because, you know, once you start, you're in and you got to do this, you know, to do the rosary. And I do the rosary every day, so it's nothing new to me. And I said, I'm going to do the rosary. So I did. And not just like one set of 10, I did the whole lot, right? And I'm not kidding you, maybe 4 or 5 minutes later, like very short time later, I get a phone call. My mate, I haven't spoken to him for a while. Hey, man, how you going? Yeah, good, bro. You still working? What are you doing? I'm like, oh, man, just doing some courier work. He goes, I got a job for you. You want it? I said, I'll fucking take it. Don't even tell me what it is. I'll take it. And he goes, I got a project management job, construction, admin, project admin. If you want it, it's yours. And I said, fuck yeah, okay. He goes, I'll send you the job description and all the rest. Have a look at it. And anyway, long story short, 2 weeks later, I'm working in fucking construction as a project manager. And I know it could be coincidence, but all I can think about is I'm sitting on the M4. I
Hating your life.
hating life, bro. I'm driving and crying at the same time. And I do the rosary. My phone rings 3-4 minutes later, bro. 2 weeks later, I'm working full time. Haven't looked back, you know. And another one, real quick. I was having one of those days again, right?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Like an episode sort of day? Like,
Yeah, just sort of up and down.
Yeah.
So it's 6 a.m. in the morning. My son wakes up. He always loves it. My son, you can put him to bed at 5 a.m. He's up at 6. Doesn't matter. He's got this internal clock.
Yeah.
He wakes up at 6. I go to bed. I'll wake up with my wife and whatever. And I said, listen, I'm tired, so I'm wrecked. I'm going to go back to bed. I pull my head down and close my eyes and I get this vision. And you know what a white hole is? You know, a black hole? In space.
Yeah.
There's white holes, right?
Yeah.
I see this white hole. It expands completely to the point where it becomes really thin. And then it goes boom and it cracks. And I see Jesus standing there. And he's going through the Bible with me. And I can't see his mouth moving, but noise, it's coming into my head. And he's basically saying to me, reset yourself, go back to the Bible, go back to the basics. Basically, this is what he was saying. Put your fears aside, put all the anxieties aside, turn back to God and go to the basics. Live a basic life is basically all the sort of messages I was getting. But he wasn't talking. His mouth was still, but his vision in white was there. It was this big explosion. I actually remember feeling it like an electrical zap. Like I went like that and I went, bzzz, and then he was just standing there all in white.
And you can hear a voice, you can hear something.
I could feel it. I could feel it all coming into me. Not knowing.
Talking to you in your brain.
Yeah. And not knowing when I had woken up, it was 3 hours.
Oh.
But when I woke up, I was in the fetal position at the end of my bed. I wasn't even on my pillow anymore. And my wife, I woke up and I said to my wife, I woke up in the fetal position at the end of the bed. She goes, I know. I walked into the room. I saw you like that. I thought, what the fuck are you doing? I went from putting my head on the pillow. I woke up 3 hours later. I was like this, crawled in a ball right where my feet would be, right on the end of my bed. Fuck knows. But, you know, like.
Explain that one.
Bro. And now I forgot to tell you. And I'm no what are those guys that can predict the future?
Psychic.
Yeah. I'm none of those.
You're not.
But this is where it gets a bit freaky and tricky. This was like post all this war, right? This was just before all this war started, right? Everywhere, right? You name it, pick a war before all that, a few years ago.
Yeah.
Right at the end, I get a vision of someone shaking someone's hand. And I get it like a message, you know how I was saying like things were coming in my head. Make peace with Russia, make peace with China. And then it stopped. Now, I'm not political. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. But that's what came. And I remember because I rang my brother-in-law and I was speaking to him and said, bro, you got to hear what just happened to me. And I didn't really think anything of it. But now I see what's going on in the world. And now I see what the fuck's happening.
It's coming to fruition.
And I'm like, bro, because I rang my brother-in-law. I said, dude, make peace with Russia, make peace with. He goes, man,
you picked it.
He goes, you picked it. I said, I didn't pick shit. It just came into my head.
So do you reckon this is a message for you to tell people that God is real? That God is real, Jesus is real?
I'll tell you what, I kick myself a bit because I still don't know what I'm meant to be doing, but I know I should be doing something.
With what? With your life, you mean?
With all this, right? With why did I survive all my, thoughts? Why have I gotten all these visions?
Well, based on what you're telling me, I can tell you why.
But I haven't really done anything with it, but I'm confused still. And I'm like, fuck, what am I meant to be fucking doing here? I'm confused as shit. I would love nothing more to get out into the world and just do my thing.
I'll tell you what you're meant to be doing. You're meant to be, you can take this or leave it. Based on what you're telling me, I think you should be preaching that, you know what? Without God, we're nothing. Without God, we can get through anything.
You need faith.
Faith is. You need shit to get through it.
I'll tell you what happened. We talk about OCD.
Yeah.
I became OCD with my faith. And I couldn't stop doing the sign of the cross.
Good.
I was doing it, but I'm talking sign of the cross like 200 times a day minimum. Like I'm talking, I couldn't walk past a statue without doing it. I couldn't go past a church without doing 100 times.
What's wrong with that, bro? You're meant to be doing that.
I know that. Yeah. Trust me. But there's a level.
From where you were to that.
There's a level of, okay, bro, just calm yourself down. God loves you. You don't have to do it every 5 seconds. And I became OCD. And what actually happened, I became so, during my worst period, during my worst times, I became so in love with God, I was too scared to go to church because I would break down and cry while I was sitting there. And I didn't want to do that in front of people. And my connection to God became so strong, it actually stopped me going to church because I couldn't see how I could sit in a sermon and not break down and cry because it was happening all the time. And I used to go after church when no one was in there. I used to go sit in.
Did you feel something though when you started crying?
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I felt him, and I felt
the Holy Spirit.
It was a thank you to him. My crying was a thank you to him because he got me through everything. He's the reason why I'm still sitting here.
That's the Holy Spirit.
And I used to wait for church to be finished. Then I'll go to church by myself, and I'll sit in the front. I'll cry for hours.
I'll get that sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll get that.
I go now, but don't get me wrong. I go now. I'm a lot better. My headspace is a lot better. I go now.
I actually spoke to somebody about that. I said to my guy, there's a certain part in the sermon in our mass. It's when just before we start singing Kyrie eleison.
Yes.
Just before that build up with the main part, most important part of the mass, when the priest is on his knees praising God. This is our bread. This is our body. When that's all said and done, and the song Kyrie eleison comes on, and we sing it with the emphasis and the power and the behind it, bro, I tear up every single time, each and every time, and I didn't know why at one stage. I'd start tearing up in the mass. So guys, if you see me at LA Lebanon crying at a certain time, we know why.
You know what's playing. Yeah.
I actually said, bro, and I spoke to somebody in the church. I said to him, I go, not bro. I go,
yeah,
this is what happens. I go, why is this happening to me just in this time of the mass? And he said the exact same thing to me. It's the most powerful part of the mass, the most important part of the mass, and that's the Holy Spirit talking to you.
Yeah.
So, bro, moral of the story, cuz, if you're crying in church, that's what you're meant to do, bro. That's the Holy Spirit talking to you.
Nah, I get it.
Don't shy away from it.
No, I'm not. Look, I'm in church now most weekends, I'm not going to say, hand on heart, I'm not going to say I'm there every single Sunday, but I'm there
as much as
99% of the time, and now it's a different connection. Now I sit there with a smile on my face and I'm proud and I'm happy and I go to church and I do my thing. But yeah, previously it was a weird relationship because.
Quick disclaimer: I'm not the best Christian out there as well. I don't think any of us are. We can always be better. You know what I mean? I'm not here preaching everything. I'm definitely not the best Christian, but
we can all be better.
We can all be better, bro.
We all can be better. Are you okay, Ambassador?
Yes.
How did that come about? How long were you an ambassador for?
Yep.
And you resigned today?
Yes, I resigned today. Okay, so I'll go through this quick for you guys.
Do you say congratulations to that?
No, look, be honest. I'll tell you what happened. And this will probably be part of part 2, hopefully. So I think I was ambassador for a few years, 3-4 years. And what happened was I was doing my own thing already in the community. I was holding my own workshops at the local church. I was doing my best to get out there and preach and talk and help people with mental health. I remember handing out flyers one day and doing a talk at a cafe, and random people came and listened to me talk and stuff like that. So I was doing stuff already. But I felt, 1, I wanted to do more, and 2, I needed help too, because it's very difficult going out there doing all that stuff. You need the support as well, because you're only human. And I did some research, and I researched everyone and anyone, you name it, Beyond Blue, Black Dog, Headspace, whatever. And I came across Are You Okay? And obviously I knew about them from all the Are You Okay days. And I reached out to them, and they accepted me. They put me on an ambassador course, and I went and sat with them. We did an ambassador course about some training. And I love them, and I still love them till today. I think they're one of the best organizations because their story is so simple, right? Just go and talk. And at the essence, that's what it's all about. It's not as complicated as others make it. They're just like, go out there, are you okay? Let's have a chat. And that's what drew me to it, because that put me in my element, gave me an opportunity to go out. And I used to do Are You Okay talks throughout the year, not just on Are You Okay Day. I'd be booked out on all different times of the year and go do talks. I did a talk, I remember once, at a musical gig. It was like 50s and 60s rockers, right? I was like half everyone's age there, and it was a rock band. And I remember the guy said to me, you got about 3 minutes. I'm going to put you on between gigs. I said 3 minutes, because usually I do like 45, 1 hour.
It's like talking between the sets to me.
I had to go and talk about mental health and Are You Okay? And I had 3 minutes between gigs.
Between the sets.
Between sets, sorry. Yeah. So I went away, and credit to myself, to be fair, I went, okay, I still have to be able to do this in a respectful way that the audience was going to get something. And lucky I came up with the idea in my head to write like an open letter. So rather than just talking openly about mental health, I wrote a letter. And I stood there in front of everyone as raw as possible. And this letter was pretty raw. And I spoke about myself and I tried to motivate people to go get help. And I just sat there and I read this letter that went for about 3 minutes. And I remember everyone standing up at the end of it. And like I said, all of them in their 60s and 70s, all these rockers, you know. And they stood up and they all started clapping. And after that, my talk, I had everyone coming up to me. I feel so bad. I had one lady begging me to talk to her husband. You know, please, you got to talk to him, please, please. And that's the sort of connection that I'd loved, you know, doing that sort of stuff. But the reason why I left is, like I was saying to you before, I feel that my message regarding mental health probably doesn't align with a lot of mental health places. I feel the reason why we have it, how we're doing it, how we're treating it, what we're doing about it, what we're doing to our kids. I feel that I started to hold back from what I really think because I was an ambassador and I didn't want to bring anything negative to the brand. And today I did a bit of research for today's talk. And I've sort of been thinking about this already anyway, but I did a bit of research for today's talk and I took some notes and I was like, okay, what are we going to talk about? And it made me realize there was some stuff that I was going to talk about with you guys. I went like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't because AUK might get upset that I'm going against their model. Don't get me wrong. They're great people.
What's the model?
No, like
Oh, okay. Let's leave them out of it. What's your view?
To be honest, it wasn't even Are You Okay? They're the best. It was more like if I pissed off other people, because Are You Okay? The good thing about Are You Okay is they work.
They're aligned with other.
They're aligned with all of them.
Yeah.
They're not against anyone. They work with Beyond Blue. They work with these companies.
We don't work them at all, bro. So
no, I don't.
You just say,
no, but I've still got to show them respect because they're really good to me. They used to always say, hey, I don't care if you're 2 steps up. If you're about to give a talk and you change your mind, just leave. We have your back. We'll tell them you're not talking. So they used to always protect us. They respected us well. But I just thought,
is this paid?
No, it's all volunteer work.
Yeah.
So as you can see with the passion that I talk, I just feel like there was more in me that I wanted to get out, that I felt a bit restricted being aligned with someone. And out of respect to them, I thought I'm going to pull the plug so I can be raw as shit and just fucking say what I really think.
You broke the shackles.
Yeah. But I don't regret it. It gave me opportunities to speak to people. It gave me opportunities to go out there and do public speaking. It was excellent.
So,
but I
still want to know.
Yes.
And shut me down again.
That's okay.
You say that your views on mental health is different, and you don't want to upset their partner.
Well, I don't want to upset the whole brand and everything. But I didn't want to be aligned with anybody.
Okay, so your thoughts on what mental health actually is?
Okay, let me tell you. Let me put it this way: you can go on any mental health website, and you do Control F, $. How many hits do you think you're going to get? Your computer will freeze. All right. You go do Control F and type in the word cure. It won't come back once, not on any site. All right.
So you're saying this is a cash grab?
If a CEO was stuck on an island, okay, let's put it this way, and a genie came out of the bottle and said, I'm going to give you 2 options. And this is the CEO of a mental health place, right? Tomorrow, you're either going to wake up with double income, or you're going to wake up and there's going to be no more anxiety, depression. Everyone's going to be cured. What do you think that CEO is going to take?
His income, obviously.
He's going to take his fucking income, right? And that's where I start to really struggle with it all. That, yes, it's a business and yes, you need to make money. But can you tell me why in Australia there's between like $12 and $15 billion spent on mental health, a cost to Australia of over $60 billion every year, and mental health is still going through the roof. $200 billion annually, mental health still going through the roof.
So
our kids, mental health still going through the roof. What the fuck are they doing with the money? When's the last time someone in the street from a mental health community came up to you and said, hey, how are you? You want to have a chat? I'm Joe Blow from whatever. You ever seen it on the street anywhere?
Never.
Mental health, anxiety, depression, you know. What's the symptoms? The symptom is you're not going to talk. You're not going to leave your house. So if they're not coming to us, they think we're going to fucking go to them? Like, what the fuck are they waiting for? All this money spent, and don't even get me started on technology. Okay, 1999, 2000, internet. Okay, 2005, smartphones started to boom. All this sort of shit. You go online, you do your research. Everywhere around the world, you do your research. Anxiety and depression, internet and smartphone use increases alongside each
They
other.
work parallel.
They work
Sure,
parallel.
yeah.
Okay,
It's not a coincidence.
it's not a coincidence.
No.
But you go do the research. People say, "Oh, because in the old days, we didn't have statistics and we didn't have databases,
No, brother.
so no one ever knew."
In
It's
the-
a load of bullshit.
In the old days, there wasn't supermodels using AI photos, putting them on their social media, showing them off to a lady that just had a baby, saying, "I need to be like that." They're putting her down in the dumps, thinking that's how she needs to be. That's why our generation now is fucked. And exactly what you said. The trajectory is parallel.
Bro, what they're doing now
Look at
about
that, bro.
restricting us under 16s, I don't give a shit. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but it's the best thing they're doing because at least someone's pulling their finger out their ass.
It's definitely not a coincidence, my brother. It's
I see anxiety and depression as something a bit more simpler, and this is what I've understood about myself. My anxiety was a cause of basically the inability to process, right?
Yep.
I call it data dumping.
Yep.
Okay, data dumping. And in my brain, in my view of anxiety, after everything I've gone through and seeing psychologists and doing study, I was lucky when I started to suffer. I was lucky I went down the path of research. And I went and I researched what's anxiety, what's depression, what's happening with me, why is all this stuff going on? And I took it head on and I started reading books, and I usually don't read. And I read one book I think was called The Power of Now. And out of every page, I couldn't tell you shit about the book, I can't remember. But one line stood out. And basically the line said, "You are not your thoughts." And that line saved my life because it allowed me then to disconnect my mind from who I was as a person, and it allowed me to understand that the thoughts in my head weren't what I actually wanted to do to myself. I was able to create almost like a third person and look back at myself thinking these things. You know what I'm trying to say? It allowed me to have, it removed the emotional attachment to those thoughts.
okay.
And then when I did that, I was able to move forward and take it head on because I no longer attached those thoughts to me personally and believing that what was in my head was what, as a human, I actually wanted to do, which was completely different. It wasn't the case. So I had to win and I dived straight in. And that's why I keep thanking God, because I had the strength to dive in, research, find out about it. And now I get to the point where I'm not going to lie. I get the shits. I get pissed off with what's going on in terms of how they're attacking, so to speak, anxiety and depression these days. They're doing nothing, bro. I'm telling you now, they're doing fucking nothing. And I know there's people out there, they're going to say that's bullshit because they help me and they help me and they help me. That's all well and good, okay? 5.5 million people in Australia have suffered anxiety and depression, okay, in 2024 alone. You can fill the MCG 55 times full of people who have mental health issues, okay? Money's coming in left, right, and center. I don't see one fucking thing on TV. I don't see one person walking the street. I don't see shit anywhere, all right? And don't even get me started. I went and saw a psychiatrist once, and this fucking guy, I swear to God, I wish I knew where he was now because I'd go back there and I'd fucking wring his neck. I walked in there, and I'd never seen a psychiatrist before. And thank God all the time that I never took medicine, okay? I get it. Some people might. But for me, I never wanted to, and I'm glad I didn't. And I went and saw a psychiatrist, right? And I had a booking. It's the first time I've ever been to these guys. And the place in Bellwood. He was an hour late. Big deal, yeah? All these specialists are always fucking late. He goes, "Come inside." I walk in. He goes, "Take a seat. Tell me what's going on." I start telling him everything, right? I'm almost in tears. I'm breaking down. He's fucking walking around, answering the phone. He's talking to his receptionist. I stopped talking. He goes, "Oh, no, keep talking." So I keep talking.
To who?
He just wanted me to talk. Fucking no one. He's not listening. Then he comes, he sits down, finally, right? Opens up his drawer. He takes out a prescription and he goes, "Take this." I said, "What?" He goes, "Take this." I said, "I don't want to take anything." He goes, "It'll help with your depression." I said, "I don't have depression. I just got some anxiety." He goes, "It's the same thing." I said, "I'm not taking it." He goes, "Well, if you're not taking it, I can't help you." How many times has this fucker done that?
Pushed that prescription.
Push the prescription and put someone on it. And I never took it. Until today, I never took it. And honestly, at times I've never been better. And I don't feel like I need it. But what gave me the shits was, how many times have you done that to someone? How many times have you fucking just ignored this person opening up completely to you, and then opening a little drawer, slide out a prescription booklet and say, go take this drugs.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew exactly what he was doing. Cash grab.
Yeah.
All he heard was kashing.
This is why we do what we're doing, because we believe there's a space where we're needed. And what are we? We don't have a degree. We don't have, that framed piece of paper. We're not called doctors, right? We're just your average Joe Blows, and Billy Does. Right? You like that one?
That was good, bro.
Because you can't get professional help the way we get relief. How do we get relief? Sitting down, having a chat, talking about how we feel, relaying each other's experiences. I can learn from your experiences. You learn from mine. I'll learn from his. He learns from you. And this is what it is. It's a community. Because I can't give you a piece of paper to numb you. Because like you said, you can be cured, right?
I've done it, mate.
But how can we be cured and still have a health practitioner? They lose their jobs.
But that's my whole point.
And this is why, and again, it goes back to these organizations like Are You OK Day. Like, and I get you do talks here. And I asked you for a reason. Are you a paid ambassador? Why wouldn't you pay someone to do regular talks, put them on a salary? The CEO's on a salary. What's he doing? Why is he getting paid $1.8 million, for example? To do what? What is he on the front line?
To do what?
Is
That's
he
exactly the fucking point.
Is he out there talking to people that need help?
And does he need that coin? Does he need that coin? It's coming in from donations. It's coming in from the government. It's coming in from left, right, and center. From everywhere. He needs to be a 1.4 to do what? To sit on a board and make some decisions?
But what decisions?
You tell me. Are you seeing anything?
I don't see nothing.
No, you don't. I don't. You don't.
And I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
You can go walk down Church Street, Parramatta. You ask every one of them. They also say, look, don't get me wrong. There are people who are going to say, it saved my life. And yes, I saw a psychologist for 3 years, every single Monday. And I cried like a little baby every single time. And he saved my life. All right. I don't doubt that. These people have a place. But I just don't. What we're doing is not working. And no one's got the balls to change that. No one's got the balls to say, hey, it's not working. Let's attack it from. And I'm talking about high up. I'm talking about the people with the cash who've got the billions of dollars.
They're
right?
not. But hang on a second. What's not working? You're wanting the people that are high up, that are earning the cash, to say this isn't working?
No, but that's my point.
If they say it's not working, then their job's in jeopardy.
Yeah, that's my point.
The bank account diminishes.
You know what? I've got the balls. You've got the balls to stand up and say what you're doing.
Yeah, because people like the rawness. People like the truth and the honesty. All right? Every time I do a talk, first thing people come up to me is, man, I love how raw you were. We have a level of trust, a respect, and we have a lived experience, as they say, and people want to know. People want to hear me, hear you, because we've been there, we've experienced it, we've come out the other side, and we're able to do what we do, and we're inspirational to people like that. But I don't see why companies can't have that inspiration too. They've got all this money. I don't understand how we continue to get worse and worse, and they get richer and richer, and more gets pumped in. I'll tell you very quickly one story. I walked into a van, and I won't name names. I walked into a company's van for mental health, okay? They had a couple of little kids sitting in there. I don't know how old they were. And I was geeing myself up to knock on the door because I was like, I'm going to go talk to them. And I did about 50 laps around that van before I had the courage to knock on the door, right? It was a mental health van. It was in Darling Harbour at the time. Finally, I got the courage. I went and knocked on the door. This little kid opens up. I wanted to talk to him about something. He goes, we're closed.
That aside, his
We're closed.
little kid was like, well,
Young people, like volunteers, right? That's how much they valued this thing. They threw these fucking volunteers.
that's what I'm saying. They're
in.
probably not even equipped mentally
And
and
the
logically.
kid wasn't even equipped enough to be able to understand that I had come vulnerable to him. And he goes, we're closed. Now, if I was any weaker person, what would I have done to myself that day?
I mean, shattered, bro. God knows what we know.
God knows. It's fucking everywhere like that, bro. It's a joke.
It's not taken serious.
Okay.
It's not taken serious enough.
Anyway,
Let me tell you.
anyway,
Don't be careful, Joey.
I was going to
Well,
say,
we're done because it's an hour and 40, right? So there is a part 2, right?
happy if you put a line through the middle, make part 1, part 2, and
But
I'll come back for 3.
yeah, but you know, we're wearing the same clothes.
Up in here. I'll take my top off.
Andrew, we're gonna do this again, and we're gonna start from this point.
Yeah, bro.
Right.
I'll go all day on that.
But I'm gonna do something by the time you come back on a second time.
Okay.
Who do we have? Are you okay?
Yep. Beyond Blue,
Beyond Blue.
Black Dog Institute.
Yeah, Black Dog, Headspace. What else they got out there?
Black Dog.
We're name dropping these, Joey. We're name dropping.
That's okay.
We're not real.
Advertising.
It's
Free advertising.
we don't want plug.
I'm gonna ring them by the time I get you on next, and I'm gonna reach out to them. I'm gonna tell them what Billy and I are about, and what we want to achieve, and how we're building a community where I can show you 100+ messages, people saying how much they love what we're doing, how much what we're doing is helping them. So if you're fair dinkum about this space, then let's see if you're going to come to the party.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you know what? You've got guys on ground zero, and this is where you need people. You don't need people with a suit and a tie sitting in a level 15 building in the city. Sorry, that guy's not saving lives. That guy's not helping people. That guy's not grabbing people, right, that are on the edge of the bridge ready to jump.
Yep.
That guy's not saving, not walking into a room with a pair of scissors cutting that rope. We want to save people.
I get that.
We want to help people. We want to stop them from getting to the edge where they feel they have no other choice but to fucking jump. That's what we want. That's what you want. So you know what? Let's put them to the fucking test.
Yeah.
Let's see where their loyalty stands. Let's see how far they're willing to go to make a fucking difference. And you know what? If I get a bullshit response, I will sit here till I'm blue in the face and I'll shit on them. Because you know what? I've lost 2 people that I know to suicide. And I'll never get them back. Their families will never get them back. I posted a stat yesterday. Over 620,000 people have committed suicide worldwide. And we're not even 6 months in.
That's fuck numbers, bro.
And what's changed? Have you seen
620,000 people have committed suicide. We had 11,000 cases of coronavirus. They shut down the country. You want to talk pandemic? Suicide is a pandemic. Suicide in males aged between 18 and 35 is a fucking pandemic. Where are you? What are you doing?
Behind cardiovascular disease, mental health is the next biggest thing in Australia. Second in Australia, 5th most in the world. We're talking billions and billions of dollars.
Thank you very much. Andrew, thank you, my man, for coming in.
I had a feeling I wasn't going to get a part 2, so I pushed this one for as long as I possibly.
Because you're that's what you got you over the line.
Hey, but how good was it, Andrew? How good was it? I made it myself.
You've kept us up, yeah?
I made it myself.
It's 9:40. I'm 40. This is about the time I doze off.
Yeah, I get you, bro.
But you've kept me going.
Sorry.
Andrew, no, there definitely is going to be another episode with you because I really want to go hard at this now.
No, I'm ready, bro.
Because we've led to this.
Yep.
And I'm sorry why we didn't go straight into this.
Nah, it's all good.
I want people to know you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I want people to resonate with you. And the only way they're going to resonate with you if they know you personally and they know your journey and where you've been and what you've done.
Yep.
Right?
No, I appreciate it, bro.
I can't wait to have another sit down with you, bro, as I'm sure Billy will tell you he can't either.
Yeah, for sure, brother.
Right? But I guarantee you, I'm going to hit up these 4 organizations and let's see.
Yeah, why not?
Let's do what they say, bro.
Just for a fucker out.
We're not going out there to waste their time. But if you've got genuine questions and you need to ask them something, you want to figure something out, why not? That's what they're there for.
Absolutely.
Look, I want to say one thing. These companies hire a lot of volunteers, a lot. The volunteers I have all the respect for because 99% of the times the volunteers are guys like us.
Yeah.
Who they want to make a difference. But unfortunately, they're going to be able to influence to a certain extent. Where it needs to be influenced higher up and higher pay grades, I'm telling you now, I don't see anything changing, bro.
How many talks did you do for Are You Okay?
I don't know. I want to say maybe 8, 9, 10 talks.
In 1 year?
No, I do about 2 or 3 a year. But
you do 2 or 3 a year. Okay.
But in saying that, I can do, like sometimes I'll go to a company and I'll do a talk to the company face to face, and then they put me on a Zoom and I'll do an interstate Zoom that same day. So, you know.
My question is, and let's end it on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my research because I don't want to open up my fat mouth with misinformation.
No, of course not. No one does.
But if the CEO is on X amount,
yep,
right? Why not pay just the same way we get a customer service relation officer on $80,000 a year? Why don't you make this a full-time gig? Why don't you get guys on the ground instead of doing 2-3 talks a year? You can do 5 talks a week.
No, I know that.
And earn a wage of $1,500, right?
I'll happily sell out Acor and speak to 85,000, bro. It wouldn't faze me one fucking bit. If I can get to that level, I'm there. You boys, Patrick, my cousin Bully, you're all there. I'm all in. It doesn't faze me one bit. You see me straight away. As soon as you turn to mental health talk, look what happened to me. Right?
You fired up.
I went, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's my jam. That's where I live in that space. And I just really keep coming back to one thing. I was at the lowest of lows like most people, but I came out the other end. And I just want that message to get across. That's all I care about.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
There's light. Don't listen to the people saying there's no cure. Don't listen to the people. And this whole bullshit about it's okay not to be okay. It's a load of shit. I don't believe it one bit. It's okay not to be okay. But hey, come here. Because we know that's not what you want. Let's have a chat. Let's make you better.
That's right.
Because if you saw me, whoever came up with that line never had anxiety in their life.
I got to stop you, but.
Yeah.
So I say it.
Yeah, good luck to you. Say it.
But I say it, but
what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something what you're doing.
Why I say it's okay not to be okay, because there's a stigma as men, right, that it's not okay to not be okay. You have to be okay.
I get that.
And that stops men from talking. That stops men from reaching out. So when I say it's not okay to be okay, what I really mean is it's okay to be struggling, but you're not alone.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone, reach out.
But that's what I'm saying. It has to have a follow-up. You
Thank
can't have a throwaway line like that. Because if you come up to me and say, it's okay not to be okay,
and then fuck off.
One, that's a cop-out from you.
Yeah.
That's a throwaway line cop-out because you don't want to deal with me. So you're just going to throw that line out there and go. 2, when you suffer as bad as I did and most people do, that line means nothing. I want to be okay. I don't want to live knowing it's okay that I'm not okay. Fuck the not okay. I want to be okay.
100%.
You know what I mean?
I love it, bro.
Anyway.
And this passion, we're going to have a banger the second round.
Got revved up, bro.
Because we want to bring this energy.
It's good.
Guys.
5 coffees, bro.
Yeah. You're buzzing now.
I'm fucking peaking.
Guys, this is episode 21. This is Andrew Sakr. I'm Joey.
And I'm Billy.
Thank you very much for another cracker one. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.